Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be talking about my type and how I find it quite particular. I do think that there's probably like a lot of women that will find themselves in this video, but this has been an ongoing topic in my group chat about how very odd my type is. And so I love to describe it because I finally kind of like it got inspired to actually describe it, because every time I would just be like I know my type, and if I were to physically line up all my past significant partners, you could tell that there's a repeating pattern, but I never knew how to like formulate it in a way where it's like people would know immediately who I was, like what I'm trying to describe. And so, how did this topic come about? I was recently watching two interviews from Cam Newton. And one was from Joey Badass, and one was where he was interviewing, I think his name is Dimitri Willie. Sorry if I'm butchering his name. And I realized like that was kind of like the best way to, like, those are the type of man that I would immediately categorize as my type. Like, the exterior is super hard and sometimes could even look unapproachable, but they're very intellectual being. And because the exterior kind of sometimes gives off like thug or hood like, and it's like I don't necessarily gravitate towards that. Quite honestly, I don't even think I would ever deal with anybody that is in the streets or gang bangs or anything like that. But like, that exterior attracts me because I feel like it radiates a lot of masculinity, in contrary to just a regular individual. Like I'm not eliminating everybody. I'm just saying my type is, and then there's like, there's like scales to my type. Like, there's less intense versions of my type, and there's like epitomes of my type. And I find it incredibly important to be with an individual that I feel like can stimulate me mentally, that has very high emotional intelligence, that very much is in tune, as much as in his masculine energy, in his feminine. Because the best way I need a man that understands the logo of yin and yang. Like, yes, in that masculine side, there's always a dot of feminine. Just like in my feminine side, there's always a dot of masculine. And we need those dots in order to understand each other's counterpart, for that balance to like be, like make sense, to enter like a very big middle ground. And I think that that's what I look for. I remember a couple of years back, I had fell on this quote that Erykah Badu had posted, and she had said something along the lines of like, I'm into articulated thugs. And that's exactly what it is. I would like to have a partner that is, in a sense, very intellect. And I think that it's one of the biggest lost arts in this generation. I don't even want to say like, oh, back in the 90s and back in the 70s and back in the 80s, but you hear it in the music though. Like when you listen to Marvin Gaye, when you listen to Mid Condition, when you listen to like those small groups like Genuine, it's a certain vulnerability that these men had for women. And it's like, it's almost as if they all understood that when it comes to women, it was all mental. It was all mental. It was, how can I actually talk you out your drawers? It wasn't just, let me show you what I'm about. Let me da 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 da. Let me da da da. It's like, we actually had conversation that allowed me to build a foundation of trust with you. I actually had these conversations that allowed me to build a level of comfortability with you, a level of chemistry, a level of compatibility, actually knowing who I had in front of me. And it's something that you don't have in this generation because of how fast-paced everything is and how unlimited access we have to everything. You can get on Instagram and probably find what you need for the night. And just like you could go on dating apps and find what you need for the night, you're not required to mentally stimulate people in order to get to that end goal of like being with them or actually getting to know them, or actually it's just let's just do this whole back and forth thing and we're done, you know? And it's something that I miss. So I think when I say I have a type, I more so am speaking on the fact that I'm attracted to a certain vibe, a certain feeling, a certain aura, you know? I don't like that word, but a certain aura, like there's an aesthetic. It's like very masculine, it's very soft, it's very gentle, it's very stimulating, it's very comforting, it feels safe. It's just like I can speak to you and I don't have this sense of rush, I don't have this sense of judgment, I don't have this sense of eagerness and like you wanting to get something or have an end goal with us interacting right now. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys that the exterior that I go for isn't like a very popular, you know, aesthetic right now. But it's like in that aesthetic, I just think that there's a niche of men that just gravitate like that. I do think there's a lot of fakers. I do think that there's a lot of people that just link onto that aesthetic, but then don't have the charisma. They don't have the composure of being those type of men. Of being those type of men. So it's frustrating now in a generation where it's like I'm looking for something so niche because I'm quite exigent. Wait, exigent? Is that the word? I'm quite stern with who I select. And the moment I feel like you are no longer, like you're not doing it for me, I will show you the door. Like it's not even up for debate, or it's not like about hurting anybody's ego. I don't go around just cussing man out or anything like that when it comes to things. But it's just like I enter this mind space where I'm just like, well, you're not doing it for me, so your 30-day trial is up. Like you showed me who you were and I don't like it. And again, I got tricked by the exterior, so that's how you got in, but I don't want to continue doing this anymore because clearly you don't have what I need. You don't stimulate me mentally. You don't speak to me. I don't feel like you genuinely want to get to know me. And it's frustrating because now it's making me realize like I'm at this point where the more I ran into mistakes, the more I check off what the mistakes were that I fell for, and the more the smaller the gap gets with dealing with men that are just not giving me what I want. In no sense am I talking about materialistic things. For the people who think that, I think I would love to request from my partner what I can already provide for myself, or I will never ask something of my partner that I cannot already do, vice versa to them back, you know? So as much as I want a very masculine man, I want a very soft in tune man that knows what it's like to be, you know, with a woman. Like you don't sit up here and treat me like one of your motherfucking homeboys. Like I sit here, goddamn down there, dab me up. Don't dab me up, please. Like you wouldn't like it if I did that. You wouldn't like it if I started acting like, you know what I'm saying, not ladylike. That's not cute. So I have a very particular type, and it is articulated thugs and men like Joey Badass, and Dimitri Willie and all of that stuff is like the type of things that I kind of gravitate to. And then it's like the spectrum is like it's so wild because, again, I said articulated thug, but the thug part is really like we whispering that. It's like in a very lower case because I could equally just be as much as attracted to somebody like Tyler, the Creator, you know, or Brent Fayez. But it's just a very hard exterior or a very secure exterior, very charismatic. But it's like you're so stimulating to the mind. Every time we have these conversations, it's like I'm spiraling. It's like I cannot stop talking. I'm learning from you as much as I'm, telling you about things that I know, and then you're giving me your input on certain things and things that this, that, and the third. It's just a very refreshing dynamic that is so, so rare to come about in this generation, that I just don't even hold people to that standard anymore. Like, I don't even tell people what they did wrong when they come into my life, and I'm like, hey, this is not gonna work. Like, oh, what was wrong? Like, why did you da-da-da? You won't get it, but I know why I'm telling you that it won't work. So let's just go ahead and wrap this up. So that was the topic for today, my loves. I just really wanted to rant about that because that interview, I would definitely actually advise for all of you guys to go watch it, especially the one with Joey Badass, because then you can understand the cadence and the demeanor and the security in which this man moves in. Obviously, I don't know that man from a can of paint. I'm just going about what I saw in that interview is characteristics that I look for in a partner in those moments, and they matter to me a lot. So that's why I wanted to talk about with you guys today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another video. And if you found this, and we have the same type, girl, like twins. And if you feel like one of your homegirls have this type, or somebody that you know has this type and they don't know how to word it, go ahead and send them this video, because they finally found the people, their people. We found each other, okay? Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, my loves.